Couple things I'd like to do first, though. And models, let's go open. I'm going to grab structure 32, and I'm going to click open. I'll make another section. Let's go down to level 1. I'm going to put a nice little section across this wall. So click on our section. Pick a point here. Hit escape a couple times. Let's double click on that section. This time I'm just going to select my crop region. I'm going to pull it straight down to here. Pull this one up. Let's change our scale from 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. Let's set our detail level to 5. Now, on our Modify tab, let's click the Join button right here. And pick this and then that, and it's going to join that together. Very nice. Now, go ahead and select your wall. Zoom down a little bit here. Notice that we have rebar cover, exterior face, interior face, and other faces. And we have some choices. We could get the drop down. And these are all cover. Where do these come from? Hit escape. Go to the structure tab. Notice that reinforcement has a drop down here. Let's go to rebar cover settings. I'm going to select cast against earth, and I'm going to click duplicate. Instead of cast against earth, I'll call it footings. Just to have something custom in there. Click OK. You escape a couple times now. Let's select our footing. Scroll up. Rebar cover bottom face. Because we have footings. Now custom cover. Hit escape a couple times. Let's click on reinforcement again. Let's go to reinforcement settings. And here's all the rounding we can use. Reinforcement presentation. Rebar set in view. Show all. Set in section. Show all. Area. Path. Varying. All of our settings are right here. Hit OK. Now, let's put some rebar in this parallel to cover. Click on rebar. That's fine. Rebar shape double up. Let's click on placement. For my placement, I'm going to go parallel to work plane. Now I'm going to put it in. Notice it's going to stop at the bottom of our cover. And our top is going to stop where our little green line stops. So I'm going to pick a spot here. Notice the other side is a little deeper. So I'm going to pick a spot here. Hit escape a couple times. What I'd like to do is put a little keyway here. If we go to the View tab, let's click on Cut Profile. For Edit, I want to click Boundary Between Faces. Go ahead and select this line right here. Click on Line. I want to come in 2 inches from here. Maybe come in 1.75 inches at a 65-degree angle. Pick that point. Select that line. Type MM for mirror pick axis. Right there. Click my line here. Now just click on Finish Edit Mode. Look at that. We got a keyway. Okay. So there you go. One last thing. Select these 2 bars. And let's go to rebar set. The layout will be single or it will be maximum spacing. Let's select maximum spacing. For the spacing, let's type in a 1. So it's 12 inches on center. In the properties, let's scroll down and let's go to View Visibility States. Click Edit. I only want to show it in this one view. So for section 1, uncheck that. For section 1, callout 1, uncheck that. We're in section 2. It's not a very good name, but It's what it is. We'll change it in 1 second. Click OK. Hit escape a couple times. In our properties over here, let's scroll down, find section 2. All caps, call it typical foundation detail. Click apply. Typical foundation detail. That's what it is. Good job. Let's open up structure 33. Make sure you're in the typical foundation detail. So scroll down in your project browser, go into sections, typical foundation detail. Perfect. Let's zoom in on our beautiful foundation. Go to structure, click on rebar. We still want to use the same shape, however we want it in another orientation. So for our placement, we're going to go perpendicular to cover. Make sure that's stuck, okay? For our rebar set, for our layout, let's go maximum spacing. And for the spacing, let's go a foot. Enter. 1, enter. Now I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to pick a spot like right about there, because I'm going to make this a little fatter. Select it. Let's put it on a number 8 bar. I'm only doing that for graphics. There we go. Select this rebar. I'm going to copy it. Pick a point right about here, and let's copy it on down to here. Escape a couple times. I'm going to select it, and I'm just going to use my left arrow button to nudge it in. Okay. Let's add some footing. Go to rebar. For the rebar set, instead of single, we are going to go fixed number, and I want 3. Now, depending on where we put our cursor, I'm going to put my cursor right on our bottom cover. I'm going to pick a spot right here. Hit escape a couple times. Select it. Now let's put it on number 8. Hit escape a couple times. Let's put one more up here. Lonely little guy. Click on rebar. For the rebar number 8. Getting a little smarter. Right in the cover edge right there. Hit escape a couple times. Let's select all of the rebar we just put in. Let's scroll down on the graphics. Let's go view visibility stage, click edit. I just want to make sure we can only see it in this one section. Excellent. Click OK. Hit escape a couple times. We're getting there. That's how you put in rebar perpendicular to face. It'd be nice to dowel this foundation wall into this footing. Let's do it. What we're going to do is we're just going to simply sketch our rebar in any shape that we want. Let's open structure 34. Let's make sure we're on our typical foundation detail. Let's zoom in on our foundation wall. Hit escape a couple times. Let's go to structure. Let's click rebar. This time we want to click on placement. We want to sketch rebar. Now let's select the wall that we're going to sketch it into. Very nice. Now look at that. We have all these tools. I'm just going to draw it in. I'm going to pick a point like right about here. I'm going to come straight down. I pick a point like right about here. I'm going to bring it over like that. See the size of that bend? That's because it's a number 8. Let's hit the drop down here and go back to 4. Revit can calculate that bend for us. I'm going to select this magenta line, and I'm going to nudge it over to the left a little bit. Click Finish Edit Mode. Nice, it added a new shape. But what we need to do is go ahead and select this rebar. And for the layout, let's go maximum spacing. The spacing wants to be 1 foot. So even number, it's 100 of them. It's 100-foot long wall. Makes sense. And our properties, let's scroll down until we get to view visibility states. Let's click edit. Let's just make sure that it is only in our typical foundation section. No 3D views. Let's click OK. Hit escape a couple times. Select this rebar. Type MM for mirror, pick axes. Go ahead and pick the center line. I didn't place it exactly where I wanted it, but that's fine. Select it. Nudge it to the right by hitting your arrow button right there. I like it. Select it again. Notice that we have a little stretch grip. This little handle, let's stretch it up. Up to about where that bend is. It's going a little bit past our cover. The last type of rebar we put it in stick by stick, piece by piece. We can actually set it to be on center, major and minor directions, and the top and bottom. This works for both slabs as well as foundation walls. So let's create some area reinforcing. Let's open up Structural 35. Let's go to Level 1 Structural Plans. I want to add some area reinforcing here. Go to the Structure tab, click Area. Select the edge of our floor. Okay, let's start. First thing I want to do though is I want to come over here. Now I want my layout rule to be maximum spacing. I don't want any additional cover, but I'm going to hit the drop down here. Top major direction, number 4 is that's fine. No hook. Top major spacing is 1 foot. Top minor direction, we have that on. Top minor hook, none. Top minor spacing. So it's going to be a grid pattern. Scroll down more though. We don't need the bottom. If this was a big, thick slab or a grade beam, yeah, we would have that, but we don't need that right now. Click Apply. Now we're going to click on Pick Lines. And we'll look at why that's going on in a second. Pick that. Pick that. Pick that. Here. 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 And here. Now, any slab depressions, we got to frame around them. So click here, here, and here. Hit escape a couple times. Type SL for split. Make sure you click on Delete Inner Segment. And pick there. And pick there. Kind of hit escape a few times. Then go click Finish. Before is at 1 foot on center top each way. Escape a couple times. I'm not a big fan of that area reinforcement symbol, so I'm just going to select it and delete it. It looks like there's a couple. So the span direction, I'm going to delete that too. That's in our actual slab. I'm going to delete that also. We can still have the note though, so that's fine. I can select it. I can kind of drag it up. Yeah, maybe this works. Yeah, right on the corner there. And escape a couple times. Okay. We'll go back to my section here. There it is. And the 4s. Yeah. There you go. That's how you add area reinforcing. What I'd like to do now is look at some of the additional view settings we can configure so our rebar doesn't look like garbage. Let's jump into Structure 36. Let's open up our typical foundation detail. I'm gonna draw another dowel in here. Go to structure, go to rebar. For placement, let's go to sketch rebar. Select your floor. I'm just going to draw a piece from here over to here, down to here, way down into my wall. Got cut that in real nice. Click finish. Because our detail level is set to 5, this is going to look funny. I don't know anyone that shows rebar as a hollow tube like that. Notice that you can select it and stretch it in and out, which is kind of neat, but it looks stupid. I like to have my detail level set to 5. If I set my detail level to medium, it shows the same. If I set my detail level to coarse, it kind of screws this up. If I select my floor by tabbing onto it, if I click Edit Type, notice that my coarse scale fill pattern is empty. If I click into here and browse, I can search for concrete or just click it there and click OK. Click Apply, click OK. Now, a rebar is really thin, so either way it's kind of weird, right? So hit escape a couple times. Let's take a look at our rebar. Let's do this. Let's go to Manage. Let's go to Object Styles. Let's go down to Structural Rebar. Oh, here's the problem. In projection, that should be 6. Cut. Let's make it 6. Now let's click Apply. Now let's click OK. Massive. Now we over-exaggerated the size of our rebars, didn't we? We called them 8s. Let's knock those back to 4. How we're talking, right? Hit escape a couple times. Select this hunk of bar. Let's move it on in. That's thick. Maybe too thick. Let's go back to Manage. Object Styles. Structural rebar. Let's knock that back to 5. Something normal. Click Apply. Click OK. Sweet. That's how that works. That looks a lot better. Let's go down to our type of footing. Scrolling over here. Let's create a call out of this pier here. Go to View. Go to Call Out. Pick a window right around this right here like that. Hit escape a couple times. Select the call out. I'm going to move my bubble up a little bit. Then we're thinking about global properties. That kind of looks like garbage. So, go to Manage, Object Styles, and Rotation Objects. Let's go down to Callouts, Call Out Boundary. Let's make that a 5. Click Apply, click OK. Now we're talking. Let's double click on this callout. Let's set the scale for 1/2 inch equals a foot. Zoom in on it. Go to Structure. Oh, that's like exactly what we're going to put in there. Go to Rebar. In the shape browser, let's scroll down and find something good. T1, here it is. Select T1. Now, let's go to Placement. Let's go parallel to Work Plane. Here it is. It's kind of funky, so we're going to put it in just like this. Hit escape a couple times. Select it. And drag that over. God forbid, drag the rest of it over. That's okay. We will drag this little guy over like that. You won't keep it like that. There we go. Okay, let's go to rebar again. Let's change our shape back to double Alt. Now for placement, let's go back to perpendicular. The layout, let's go. Fix the number. Quantity is 3. It's a little bit tough to put in there, so I'm just going to put it here and hit escape, select it. Just going to drag it in a little bit like that. And drag this up a little bit like that. Select it. Click copy. Multiple. Oh, copy. 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 Hit escape a couple times. Select our cage. Let's make sure it is set for maximum spacing, and of course it's going to be 12 inches on center. Escape a couple times. Now select all the bars we just put in. That'd be easy. Let's go to our visibility states. Click edit. Now 3D view right here. I want to view as solid and view unobstructed. Click OK. Just select this P right here. Click on this button right here, selection box. Zoom it out. Woohoo! Change the scale. Let's make that 3/4 of an inch equals a foot. There we go. For 3D, click into 3D, soft click it. Okay, it's called typical pie blaster. Hit enter. Cool. Here we go. One more thing. We ruined our 3D view. So if you click on 3D view again, it's going to generate a new 3D view. Let's select realistic. Let's select detail level. Fine. Type in VG. For model categories, let's go to structural rebar. I want to see it here. Let's go to analytical model categories. Click select all. Uncheck all this. Actually go back to model categories. And I want to turn off structural area reinforcing. Click apply. OK. Okay. Now we're back to where we need to be. Phew, that was a long one. Pretty cool though, huh? Autodesk has added a new type of reinforcing which will follow the path of surfaces that you pick. It can be frustrating, but let me guide you through it because I think I've got it figured out. On the models, let's just start a new one. For the template file, let's go with structural template. Click OK. And on the level 1 structural plan. On the structure tab, let's go with a slab. I'm just going to sketch an arc. I don't know, 39 feet out. 24-foot radius. Let's click pick lines. I don't know, let's all set at 6 feet. That looks about right. Hit escape a couple times. Just click a line here. Point there to there. And a point here to here. The span direction will make no difference to what we're doing here. Click finish. Delete this because this will have no bearing on what we're doing either. Go to a 3D view. Okay, here's what we gotta do. Go to the structure tab, click rebar. Ta-da-da. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. We want to do freeform rebar, but let's do our surface first. Click surface. Now here's the confusion. It says select host surface, that's my cursor. It says start surface up here. The words by your cursor is what you do now. The word up here is what you do next. I know it says next there, but it took me a while to figure this all out. For the layout, let's go with maximum spacing. And for the spacing, let's go 1 foot. I want my host surface to be the bottom. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to click that. I'm going to grab the bottom. Now, it doesn't advance us to the next thing, so we need to physically come up here and click Start Surface. I want my Start Surface to be here. Now, next, click on End Surface. Pan around. I'm going to pick my End Surface. If the green check mark shows up, you're probably good, so click Finish. We're good. That's what I wanted. Excellent. Okay. Now let's go with the Align. Let's click on Select Host Surface. I'm going to grab the top this time. The next thing we choose is Path. Click Path. I'm going to click this edge. Layout is maximum spacing. Spacing is 1 foot. Click Finish. Now we've got that. Right. Hit escape a couple times. Cool. Now, let's grab the top one here. Workshop instructions, bend. It doesn't do anything. I don't know. Keep straight. Hit apply. I'm guessing this one would be affected by that. For style, instead of standard, it's going to be a stirrup. Hit apply. Now let's scroll down to hook at start. Stirrup tie 90. Hook at end, stirrup tie 90. Click apply. Spending down. Let's keep scrolling down till we find View Visibility States. Click on Edit. 3D views, that's what we're in. Let's view it as a solid. Click OK. Let's set our detail level to 5. Oh, let's select this one now. Let's go back to the same type of stuff. So let's keep straight and it's bent, so let's go bend. Let's see what it does. Does nothing. Keep straight for style. Stirrup tie. Hook at start. I think it's going to hook upward. Apply. Oh, hook at end. 90, hit apply. Yep. And for our visibility states, we're going to view as solid. Click OK. Set your visual style to realistic. Hit escape a couple times. There you go. It's kind of cool, right? So that's how you add freeform rebar. What I'd like to do now is create some lateral brace frames. Up to this point, we've pretty much done everything in a 2D plan. What I want to do is put in a 3D element. However, we're going to remain in 2D. The trick is here we need to create an elevation, and we need to set the reference plane onto a grid line. Let's jump into Revit. I'm going to click Open, go to Chapter 7, and open up Structure 37. Let's go to Level 2. I'm going to zoom into this middle bay right here. This will be a good one. Now the idea is we're going to create an elevation, and it's going to pin itself to column line F. So let's zoom in here. On the View tab, click the Elevation drop-down, and let's go to Framing Elevation. I'm going to hover over this grid line here. First, when I select it, it shows up. I have to be on a grid line in order for this to show up. So I'm going to grab this W14 by 30. It looks like it, but I'm actually grabbing grid line F. Pick it. Hit escape a couple times. Let's open up elevation 1A by double clicking on it. Set your detail level to 5. I'm going to zoom in here between level 2 and 3. That's where I'm going to put our frame. In the project browser, let's scroll down until we find elevations, framing elevation. If you want to here, click on elevation 1A, soft click on it. Let's call that brace frame elevation. Hit enter. Now I want you to go to the architecture tab. Click the set work plane button right here. We're not going to do anything. I just want to show you that our work plane is on grid F. Now we can model anything we want here, and it's going to be as if we're modeling it in plan, only we're modeling it in an elevation. Instead of level 1 being our work plane, grid F is our work plane. Hit cancel, save it. That's how you make a framing elevation. Now that we have elevations set that we can put brace frames in, let's go ahead and add some brace frames. Let's jump into structure 38. Let's make sure in our frame and elevation, brace frame elevation. Let's zoom into here. Notice that Revit was smart enough to cut it off right at the midpoint of those column lines. Let's keep it here. If it becomes problematic, what we can do is we can grab our crop region and drag it out, but I think we'll be good. Let's zoom back in here and hit escape a couple times. Go to the structure tab. Now click on brace, structural framing brace. That'd be silly. We don't want to use that. Let's hit the drop down. Let's grab HSS 6x6x1/2. Now here's what we want to do. We want to start drawing this brace frame from the analytical endpoint of this beam. So if I hover over this and type SE, make sure that you're hitting the endpoint of this. Okay? So SE, we're going to pick that point and come straight up. And we are going to find the midpoint of that beam. Hit escape a couple of times. Here's what it does. That's our analytical plane. So Revit's going to cut that back, but it's going to keep the analytical plane pushing through to that point. Let's do the same for the other side. Let's go to brace. Let's come down to this endpoint. If you have to type SE, that's fine. That's a safe way to do it. Pick this endpoint straight up and grab that midpoint there. Bingo. Let's do one more. Straight down. I'm going to select this midpoint. I'm going to come straight down. Select this midpoint. Bam. So we're telling Revit, okay, this is where our cutback is. But yet our analytical plane is going to keep pushing up through. Hit escape a couple times. Go to a 3D view. Here we go, we're on our way. That's how you make a lateral brace frame. What I want to do is, I want to go back to our brace bay elevations. Let's open structure 40. Let's come in here. Let's double click on brace frame elevation. Here it is. Okay. We need to model an in-place family. Remember when we did the step footing? This is a very similar situation. You're not going to find the families in the way that you want to configure your gusset plates. So let's go ahead and model something in place. To do that, we will go to the Structure tab. We will click the component drop down, and we will select model in place. Let's categorize it as structural stiffeners, and let's click OK. We'll call it brace frame A gusset. I think there's 2 T's. I think there's one T. Okay. What I want to do now is create an extrusion. The good thing is if we click set, Revit knows where we are on grid line F. So we hit cancel. Now, the extrusion end, let's type in -1/2 inch. The extrusion starts, let's type in 1/2 inch. It's going to be an inch thick plate that straddles grid line F. Scroll down to material. So where it says by category, click on the little browse button here. Type in steel. I'm not choosy. I'll grab ASTM A53. It's good enough. It'll hold it. Coming to the bottom here. Now, click your line button. I'm going to come up to about here. Pick a point here. I'm not being very deliberate. I'm just going to pick a point here. Then I'm going to come straight down. Don't stop it at the concrete. That's not going to help you. Come right down, hit something solid. Come back over to our framing. Come straight up like that. Nothing fancy. I'm going to pick a window around this plate. Type M for mirror, pick axis, and I'm going to pick that axis. When I'm at it, I'll put a little arc one here. So let's go to line. Pick a line right here, and I'm going to come over. It's hard to say how far that is. I'm going to come over 1 foot even. I'll come over 1 foot, 2. Just to make it difficult. 1 foot 2. Pick that point. Now, click the arc button. Come all the way over 2 foot 4. Pick a point there. Now come straight up. Pick a point there and escape a couple times. Say TR for trim. We are getting fancy. All right. Now let's just do one up here. This won't be that fancy. Click the line button. Pick a point here. Corner 2 foot 2. Come straight down to here. Geez, that's pretty long. So 2 foot 2. I'm gonna pull this back to 1 foot 6. Now I'm gonna click a line. Go straight down. Come at that angle. Doesn't really snap, but I'll eyeball it. I'm gonna pick a window around these 2 lines. Type MN. Pick the center point here. Escape a couple times. Type TR for trim. Pick here. Pick here. Click your line command. Come straight across here. This is gonna be really nice. Here we go. Click finish. Now click finish model. Go to 3D view. This one's kind of buried in the slab. If you want to make it bigger, go ahead. I'm happy with what I've got. So that's how you make an in-place family, but how you can add gussets to a lateral brace frame. What I'd like to do now is look at the symbology of our brace frame. While we're looking at the symbology, I'd like to take a look at the other structural settings. So let's go to structure 39. Let's go to level 2, structural plan. So in here, notice that there's a little dashed line here now. This indicates that there's a brace frame above us. Let's go to level 3. There's a dashed line on the outside of it. That means that there is a lateral brace frame below us. So what controls this graphic? Go to the Structure tab. Click on the little Properties button right here, the Structural Settings. Now braces for symbols. Plan representation. Instead of a parallel line, let's go line with angle just to be contrary. So show brace above, show brace below. We'll go connection brace angle kicker, be a connection brace kicker. Notice that we can also assign load combinations, analytical settings. So that way when we modeled these, we knew that our analytical plane was crossing into the right spot. We can set loads on that. Let's click OK here. We kind of changed that a little bit. That's in the way a bit, so I'm gonna just pick a window around this, hover over that, select it, and I'll move this back a little bit so we can see it. So that's how we're gonna change that. Now if we go to level 2, this should be on inside facing in. Down 30, but that's how you change the symbolic view of a lateral brace frame in plan. What I'd like to do now is start making some sheets. But before I do that, I want to make a bunch of call-offs. Let's open structure 41. Let's scroll down till we find our brace frame elevation. Zoom into our brace frame. I'm going to go to View. I'm going to go to Call. I'm going to pick a window around here with a spanking brand new callout. Right here it says brace frame elevation callout 1. Let's double click on this. Let's click this to edit it. Let's call it brace frame A, all caps. Hit enter. Let's change our scale to a half inch equals a foot. Oh yeah. I'm not done yet. I want to create a call out here, and a call out here. So let's go to call out. Pick a window around this. Select this bubble, pull it down a little bit. Brace frame A call out 1. We'll keep that, I guess. Skip a couple times. Let's do another call out. Still on here. Call out 2. Still here. Call out. Stays on the same side no matter what. Let's call out 3. We're going to select our call out. I'm going to pick the window. Drag that up. You can actually zoom in and put a little leader on it. Yeah, it's hard to get. It's not quite there. We go. Yeah. Now, just give it a couple times. I want to select this beam. I want to hold on my control key and select the brace frame itself. Now let's click on this little button here, selection box. We've seen this in action before. Ooh. Excellent. Let's increase this scale to 1/4 inch equals a foot. That is so cool. All right. In our properties, we're going to rename 3D to brace frame A. And hit enter. Okay, now let's make a sheet. Let's scroll down in our project browser until we find Sheets All. It's right here. Right click on it and select New Sheet. We'll have to do with that. That's fine. Click OK. Okay. Now, elevations. Let's grab brace frame elevation, drag it on. So all I did was I picked, I dragged, and I dropped. Let's roll up to brace frame A. I'll put that here. Let's select call out 1, 2, and 3. Let's set the view scale to 3/4 of an inch equals a foot. Hit apply. We can't drag them all on at once, so just have to go one at a time. Doesn't quite fit, so we'll have to maybe put it down here. No, put it up here. Notice that I can align it based on that actual lateral frame there. So the horizontal one is actually in perfect alignment with that guy. I think that if I drag that down, now it's not going to pick up the angle, which would have been neat, but it didn't. Now, let's go up to our 3D views, and let's grab brace frame A. Let's grab that on our sheet. Point here. This could be bigger. So if I select this viewport, I can change the scale to 1/2 inch equals a foot. Twice the size. Apply. That is a dandy. Hit escape a couple times. So here we go. That's how we make a pretty sweet brace frame sheet. Obviously, if I change it here at the origin, it is going to update everywhere. Notice all our little callouts are going to the right spot. That's how Revit works.